Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Farm Sim 19. This is Valley Old Farm. It's episode number 25. So, last time we left off early on in our cotton harvest, and we were still selling bales of silage. Well, the silage bales, they're all sold now. However, we have not cashed in on that. 7 o'clock in the evening, we spent a lot of the day physically taking care of that project, so we don't cash in on that until midnight. And meanwhile, I have a load of cotton bales, and you can see there's already a load sitting right next to us here that I haven't seen a proper sell point, but I do think that it's about right where I'm at now. Let's see. How about we tag that, make sure, yep, there you go. That's it. No markers present, but that seems to be our sell point. So price has gone up significantly from where it was last time. And so I think we're going to go ahead. So here is cotton, 2,272. That's per 1,000. Okay. Each of these bales are a lot. Have to get out. Let's see. Can I look at one? How much is it? Can I pick it? Without a fork, I can't pick them up. 10,000. So that means each bale is worth 22,000. That's a good little amount. All right, let's go ahead and sell these first 8 bales that we have. We finished the first area. Okay, so far it's not taking them. Oh, there we go. Now it took them. Yeah, there you go. 90,000 for a single load. And I'll have a second load here in just a moment. We have a third load that's not far from being done. So that's almost 270,000 to this point. And that's just from the first area plus a little bit into the second area. These things are very finicky to pick up. There it goes. It actually doesn't like to pick it straight on, it likes to pick it at an angle. Alright, and with that, that is 180,000, bringing our grand total to 363, 380 right now. We've got a little over a third of $1,000,000, and we're down to owing 1.6. Now, before the end of the day, we should have definitely some more cotton money, though it's 7 o'clock. Let's not take out the residential car there, huh? So we should have more money coming in from cotton for the end of the day, but also the rest of the bales. There's going to be quite a bit of bale money coming in.
Bale money? Did you get arrested?
Apparently. I was caught picking something other than cotton. So we've got some time to play here before the end of the day, but of course it's going to be dark, and we'll have to deal with that accordingly. But you know, we'll get through that. I'm not going to do a whole lot of recording of the cotton harvest, but we're going to go ahead and lease a second harvester. Otherwise, this is a job that's going to take ages to do, and we can't afford for the rain to start to come. It is the 3rd day of early autumn. We've been really lucky that it's been dry this long. It's not going to stay like this. There is rain in the forecast eventually, we've still got some time to play with. I think we'll be okay, and we're down to ×1 speed now that the bales are done on being sold. Let's see, so this field is all done. No bales left in there. I'm gonna have to kind of go along and see where some bales are left. I know there's minimum one left still out here. Let's actually go ahead and cut through here. Anyway, unlike usual where we're going to use time-lapse, there's a lot of harvesting still to do. It's going to take a lot of time. So instead we're going to get more general cuts of us at the spinnery unloading. We'll get a couple cuts, a couple time lapses mixed in there, so you at least get a variety. But that's the main thing we're going for this time. It's only been 10 or 15 minutes, but we are on our way now with load number 3. And hopefully the price is unchanged, and that'll be another $90,000. Actually wondering if it's going to be more advantageous to just buy a harvester and then sell it when we're done at a loss, but that loss might be less than what the lease cost is. Potentially. I'll have to do a little math on that one here. And, well, really in just a moment, because now I'm going to have nothing left to do. 89,839. You see the value has gone down slightly from where it was. That's still pretty damn good. By the way, they don't fit under there. It's supposed to be an easy out, but this trailer does not support going underneath that overhead section. Alright, so we're at $453,000 now, $220. And of course, we've got a lot of money coming in overnight. So if we don't have it, we could always skip till morning. So that means I've got a few things to do here. I'm going to check the weather, make sure we're still holding out. I'm not going to suffer, from rain anytime too soon anyway. And then I'm going to check the lease cost kind of versus this sell. I'll have to check some of our vehicles for comparison to see kind of what they're worth, how much to expect to lose from it, and see which one's more worth it, a lease or a purchase, with selling it back at the end, because really we only need this one harvest to get done. Then we're at the end. I mean, this is that point where by the time we're done with this, we'll be selling off all of our crops and make that other $1.6 million we need to pay off this debt. And then, hey, we're done. Job successful. So, I'm going to get to those tasks, and I'll see you back in a little bit with a verdict. Alright, so we're late into the evening here, and we're going to push on right towards midnight, and here is the verdict. First off, with the 3 loads, that was $270,000 that we made from that. We have 1 bale in the trailer. We have a second bale sitting right next to it. So we're at halfway through our 4th load right now and just getting started on the next section. Now, speaking of next section, we are roughly a quarter of the way through the cotton harvest. It's hard to estimate exactly how much we have to do, but that's roughly where we're at. So 75% to go. Now, doing some quick math, we are at a little over 5 hours. A little shy of 4 hours. There you go. A little shy of 4 hours on the current cotton harvester. So multiply that out. We're looking at maybe 11 hours to go. So 11 hours to go. And then we'll have 2 cotton harvesters, so that means that's about 5.5. But we're going to cut down the time slightly by, I'll double between in that harvester and in the truck I'm in right now, picking up bales, selling bales. So maybe 5 hours. Alright, so at 5 hours, and we'll slow time down some more so I don't get too late here. So at maybe 5 hours of usage, what's that going to run us cost-wise? Well, cost analysis for a new truck and then 5 hours of use and then resale value, it's about 80%. So resale value would cost us about $90,000 to $95,000 in losses to buy a new one and then turn around and sell it after 5 hours of use. To lease one of these cotton harvesters with the initial and 5 hours of use in the same day, that's a key point, within the same day, that's going to run us about $60,000. So it's about a $30,000, $35,000 saving. And about $60,000 is not cheap. We've got a job to do and we need to get it done. And there's 2 of us playing, and one sitting around with nothing to do isn't a whole lot of fun. Though technically, I mean, we could jump over and sell some more trees, but we've done a lot of that. We want to get this thing done. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and lease one in the morning when the sun comes up. But in the meantime, it's night. It's almost midnight. And we've got to do something with this pile of cash that we have right now. It's a nice little pile of cash, $450,000. We're going to pay this debt down a bit more. Remember, we're getting paid at midnight once again. And it should be more than enough to begin the leasing of the harvester. Which, of course, as we get a couple more loads, then we'll have plenty of money right there as well. So let's keep going. There's 1.5 million to go. We still have over $250,000, so we're going to keep going a bit further here. I think we're going to get this down to about 1.3 and see where we're at. All right, there's 1.3. That leaves us with 78,000. That actually is still more than enough. How about we make it 1.25? I like that. It's a nice round number. So 1.25 million left on the loan. We are well past halfway now. 28,000 left, which is still a good amount of money. And we're coming up on midnight here in just a moment. And this will also lead to another repay on the interest. Plus that biogas plant income, which is $117,561. Loan interest is down to $35.60. So there you go, balance right back up to $142,000. And that debt is down to 1.25. So we're really getting down to it. Of course, this truck probably shouldn't be sitting on, as the gas tank is down to 1/4. But it's hanging in there. It's not like we're doing much work with this thing anymore. But we're going to have to do some repairs and refill the tank.
I've got a bale over here too.
Okay.
And I've got this one 3/4.
Okay, so we're actually getting pretty close to our next load as well. But we're going to go ahead and speed things up until that sun comes up, and then we'll slow it right back down. Go times 1 speed. And I would imagine that this cotton harvest should be done within today's date, which is the 4th of mid-autumn. So the first day of mid-autumn. So still dry. We're actually still a couple days of dry weather ahead of us, so we're fine. We don't need to worry about rain coming too soon. We'll be done here soon enough. All right, so it's morning, and even though we have a John Deere for our current cotton harvester, we're going to go ahead and pick up the Case IH Module Express 635. This one's actually almost half the price compared to the John Deere. And we'll see how it's different here soon enough. But the initial leasing cost, $24,735. Our plan is to have it turned back within the day, so we shouldn't have any additional overnight costs. Also, part of the reason to go straight to the morning. Other than, visibility is nice. But per operating hour is 10,185. Expectation is we could or should keep that right under about 5 hours. That's 50,000 plus the 9,700 and the 4,850. So that's a little under 65,000. And we're already at the store. So we'll head around the back and go pick her up. She's a little big for the road, but we'll have to make our way carefully towards the site. Alright, so for a little change on this one, and as we're now working with a new harvester, we'll go ahead and use a little time lapse so we can at least get a little coverage of how this Case IH operates compared to the John Deere. We've got some distance to cover to get down to the fields. So let's go ahead and start that time lapse now. Alright everybody, that's my first 2 full bales of cotton. We'll see if these are different than the... Oh, these are definitely different than the others. In fact, it's one big, massive, double square bale.
Square bale?
Well, I guess it's rectangular bale. It's an ugly thing. Looks slightly like a loaf of bread or a... maybe a marshmallow that sat outside a little too long and kind of melted and reshaped itself a bit. But yeah, there you go. That's my first 2 bales. We also have another load worth already that we've been able to acquire through the field work we've done so far. Let's see, are you turning back on? Yes, there we go. Alright, well, we've got a long ways to go yet, and we're just gonna keep trucking away. I've already done half an hour just in the work we've done, but we'll do a quick check on the map so you can see kind of where we're at on that. And so the first region we did was right over here. We moved across, did these 2 fields, then we've gone down, finished these fields, and we're now on field 69. And then we'll just continue making our way. This is all cotton, so 89 will be the last field we finish. That's that. So still a fair ways to go. I'd say we'll be about halfway done somewhere right around here. We're not that far away from that part now. So yeah, if we're lucky, we could maybe keep this under about 4 hours, potentially. That'd be nice if we're able to do that, getting through all of this. But either way, there's still a lot of money in this cotton that we have coming. So it's going to be well worth it to have done the lease that we're doing here. And if we have to, we'll go back, sell a few more trees. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. We're down to 1.25 million that we owe. We've already got nearly $250,000 up in the upper right corner, meaning we're down to about $1 million left to pay off. We clearly have many loads to come, meaning I think we're going to get at least another, say, $500,000 from the cotton. That could put us down to only needing about $500,000 from everything in the stores and the silos. That's gotta add up to at least $500,000. There's a good amount of crop in there, so I think we've got our $3 million covered. I do. I think we've got it covered, so that's a good sign. But that's going to do it for this episode. Off camera, we're going to go ahead and finish the cotton harvest completely, and then that means there will be more money up in that upper right corner when we start up the next episode, and then all we'll have to do is head to the storage, to the silos, and transfer those goods. And we may or may not do that right away. This could be the last day of the playthrough, or maybe not. We'll see how close we are on the money and start to calculate. If we can get over that $3 million, even if we're not at the optimal price now, might as well. That's task done. So that does it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.